So in this last video of the community questionnaire, where we've been generating covariates for the community, we're going to finish off with about three modules where we're also going to generate relevant covariates, and then we'll start with this module CI that also looks at community resource management in the community. Right, so it collects information on community resources owned by the community and how the rules of access are determined, and also further elicits information about how compliance with these rules is enforced among both community members as well as outsiders. So let's run this questionnaire, and then you see that we do have 33 variables and 3,550 observation. It's based on this resource, so let's also see that resource, and then as we've done previously, drop any other variables, and then we're also going to generate the new variable. Instead of losing this one reshaping, we want to have that information also contained, and then we can also rename it, just create generate a similar variable that will also mimic this com c1i ob variable. Then we can also reshape based on that information to get the to generate the variables of interest. So if we run this, for instance, now you could see that it's pretty much information that's collected for that community, but we have several variables. We reshape it. It takes us back to the community related variables, and then we can browse, and then the only difference is that you see that for example, it will be one particular item, and then the responses that it got from the community, and then we move to another one, forest, and then so on and so forth. Still, these are community information. We can also use them, and then rather than manipulating them, which this can happen during when one is running a regression, we could see how this data can be manipulated. But for now, we're just going to merge these DTA files in the community questionnaire. All right, so you see that 710 have been matched according to our analysis. And then next we look at module CJ, and this module also looked at community organization, how the community organizes itself. And then let me just paste this code snippet here, and then looking at what are the presence in the community of listed organizations, and collects information on the number of specific groups, meetings, frequency, size of membership, female and also younger adult participation. So similar information that we're going to get for that particular community. Let's run it. These are the variables that are there, and this is the group code. We can also view this group code to see exactly what are the groups that the community also is engaged in. If you can go through this, you see that it runs from village development committee, youth groups, political groups, all the way to tobacco clubs. Again, simply what we're going to do is to reshape, but make sure that we are generating a duplicate for the group ID, and then using that duplicate to reshape so that we have the necessary information that we're going to use to identify those particular covariates. So as you can see in the data file, we have a particular group, and then these are the responses, another group, and then you have responses, and so on and so forth. Then lastly, what we do is just to merge the DTFR, and then we have a set of covariates that we can use for the Then lastly, we're going to look at module CK, and then of course match this data with our variables DTF file, and then this one, of course, you're looking at data that now looks at prices. So they have a set of commodities, and then they also ask the community what are the prices of such commodities. And as you can see, these selected items are available for the sale in the community or nearby at the time of the interview. It also collects information, the prices of these items, if they are available in that community. So let's view these items that the survey was asking. We can also list the item, and then also tab to see what's the frequency, and then you see that indeed it's also per community that they asked this question. So all we have to do is to reshape. So they're looking at prices for maize grain, tomatoes, types of foodstuffs, all the way to even one is doing a wage kind of work for the adult male. So again, we generate an item ID because we want to make sure that each item has got its sets of covariates, and then we're going to use that to reshape that. And then again, we've generated 256 variables with the 710 EAs that the questionnaire also collected data on. Okay, then we can match this, and it will show that indeed we have generated so far 1,263 covariates for the community that we can use to match with our variables DTFR. All right. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to sort EAID in this community DTF file, and then also merge this with the variables DTF file. And then what we do here, let's now generate that. If it was going to be a perfect match, it means that we're supposed to have 0. But what Stata is telling me is that, in fact, we have 88 observations where we have missing data. We have the cases, but we don't have data related to the community questionnaire that we've just generated. We can tab EAID if match is equal to 2, just to check with which EAs are missing. So pretty much this doesn't give us good enough information unless we know exactly what that EAID is. But if we tab it by district, then we know exactly which districts where this survey didn't happen. So there are 4 EAs in Zimbabwe that didn't collect information on community the community questionnaire, and then other districts that are there, and then another city where this data wasn't collected. We don't have anything to do about that. We don't have the data, but we still have the other covariates for the from the household as well as agriculture and fisheries that we can still use. So we can drop those observations. We still keep them, and then next we just have to order them. And then in this case, these are the variables of interest, but also we've added the way we are coding or categorizing these observations, which is just com, and then we have a list of covariates from the rest of the aligned in a way that we have community observations of variables after we have the fisheries data file. So again, just order them and then describe. We want to know how many variables we have now. It's a big data file now, so it will take time, but then it's going to order the observations and then tell us how many covariates we have now. So as you can see, just looking at the covariates that we've generated from the household all the way to the agriculture as well as fisheries and the community questionnaire, we have now generated 2,065 variables that we can use as covariates when we are running regression related to micro data analysis. Then next, what we need to do is just to save this as a variables detail file, and then all we need to do is finish that off. So what we've done so far is now, pretty much finishing, the covariates analysis. And next, what we're going to do now, we're going now to construct now the consumption aggregates. Now that we have expenditures from, the fisheries questionnaire, the agricultural questionnaire, as well as the household questionnaire, and that will be part G of our analysis.